Hey y'all. So I had two very important, very revealing conversations today. Well, over the last couple of days. I'm in an airport and I am supposed to be flying back home to Virginia today. It didn't quite happen that way. But anywho, since I've been here in San Diego, I had two very important conversations. The first one was with my mom, and another one was actually with kind of a new friend of mine. And I think it's not reminding me because I am already a talker. If y'all couldn't tell already, with 65 videos of me yapping on the internet, I am a yapper. But what you guys might not know is I ask a lot of questions about myself, about others, about relationships, about the world, about people's perspectives. And I had the opportunity to, we'll focus on one conversation. I had the opportunity to ask my mom a lot of questions that I've never really asked her. And one of them, or at least I haven't asked in a while, and one of them was, how do you feel, or what characteristics would you like me to develop to be a better daughter? And one of the other questions I asked was, what characteristics do you think would be most important for me to develop in order for me to be a good wife, in your opinion? Mind you, my parents have been married for 33, 33, 34 years, something like that. Um, and they've been happily married the majority of that time. So I value her opinion on things like this. Not that I always agree, but I do value her opinion. And something she said struck me, not because I wasn't fully aware of it, but sometimes you do just need reminders of the things that you need to work on. I am very aware of the fact that I am an extremely flawed woman, and I have characteristics that are not super ideal. For friendship, one moment. Benefits of recording in an airport. Hopefully this isn't too loud, but okay, girl. Hold on. Okay, I think we're good. Um, I think it's important to get more opinions to remind yourself of some of the flaws that are most important, maybe to keep top of mind, to keep in the forefront so that you continue to work on them and you kind of don't rest on your laurels. I think it's important. Obviously, it is also important for us not to get, too hard on ourselves and to extend grace and that sort of thing. But there's a certain point where I think it can be really easy to, girl, I thought I was a yapper. I'm gonna keep talking because I can't keep stopping this video. Y'all don't want to listen to it, and I don't want to be sitting here recording forever. But it's important that we don't get to a point where it's so long in between times that someone is giving us an honest and objective opinion that we forget that we should still be working and growing in, our shortcomings and the areas that we need to continue progressing in and we need to continue improving in. And I also think it's important to, one, keep you modest and humble. Some of us, myself included, could use just the regular reminders that, like, you're doing well, but keep working, stay in therapy, keep praying about your flaws and actively working toward improving. Not just for the health of myself, but for the health of all of my relationships. So, my friendships. I want to continue not just to keep the friends that I have, but to also be able to develop new friendships as I continue meeting people. to, be the type of person that is ready not just for a good partner, but to be a good partner. Obviously, like the state of marriage right now is not great. The state of relationships in general is not great, but I want to make sure that the person that I end up being with, like, I can meet them where they are because I know that I'm asking a lot of them, right? And then also for my familiar relationships, I know I've mentioned it before. There are definitely reasons to, like, go no contact with your family or be estranged from your family. I don't want to do that. And if it does happen, I don't want it to be because of me. I want to be the type of person that is not just a hard worker secularly, not just a hard worker in my ministry, but is also a hard worker for the people that I love. And the conversation that I had with my mom really opened my eyes to some things that I need to continue working on. Yeah, and I think I'm incredibly blessed. While me and my mama do not get along all the time, I do think I'm incredibly blessed to have a mother who, one, has some sense. Like, she's not too crazy, um, but can also provide an objective to a point. Obviously, she's my mother. She watched me grow up. She loves me. She has biases for and toward me, but can be as objective as she can be when it comes to, and honest, like willing to be honest with me, not just gonna butter me up and be like, no, you're wonderful, you have nothing to work on. That is definitely not my mom. So I feel blessed to have people around me like that as well, and especially a parent. um yeah. So anyway, wanted to talk about that. There's another long conversation that I had with someone, again, my new friend, who I may or may not talk about, uh, or budding friendship, I'll say, who I may or may not talk about, but in more depth at least. But we talked for like 6 hours. And when I tell you, we talked about everything from religion to parents to relationships to friendships to our own personal shortcomings to therapy to the state of the world. um, we talked about so much, and that also reminded me of some things, brought up a lot. Yeah. So anywho, I think in the spirit of trying to think positively about the things that have happened, I'm taking these moments of reflection, taking these moments of honest feedback, and I want to turn them into something positive. I don't want to be the type of person who somebody has constructive criticism for, and I'm just like, this person's a hater and they don't know anything, and this person didn't even know me that well, and she's biased. She's watched me grow up, and I without honest feedback from other people, I don't know where a lot of us would be. Well, it's probably why the world is the way it is in a lot of ways, but I just never want to be that person. And yeah, I feel really grateful and really blessed that I have people that are willing to be honest with me, and people who I feel still have maybe not the right mindset. 'Cause I don't want to say that like my way is the only right way, but people who, in my opinion, have really good outlooks on life, and an openness and willingness to express themselves with a level of vulnerability in a way that I don't think is super popular now. Like, obviously, there are plenty of people oversharing on the internet, but there are very few people who can sit down and have a really deep, vulnerable, open, honest conversation about themselves, their mistakes, um, ways that they need to improve, etc., etc. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, y'all. I want to make sure I got this video out because I'm not trying to miss another day. But anyway, yeah, if you don't know, my name is Alexis, and I post here on YouTube every single day. So if you'd like to join me in my musings, my yapping, and maybe some of my more informative posts, this is not that, but one of my more informative posts, then feel free to hit subscribe. And I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on this too. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.